Namaskar to all of you, my dear students. Today, the second day of teaching through online class. On the first day, I tried to give you some rules, informations, and introduction of transformation, but due to some technical problem, the class was very limited, very short. So the rest left rules of transformations in detail. I am here to teach you on the second day. As I told you on the first day, transformations means generally in Nepali we say badalnu, and it is of three types: affirmative or positive or statements, that means same, that we say in Nepali sakaratmak. Likewise, second type is negative, that we say in Nepali nakaratmak. And third one is interrogative or into question or yes no questions, that means simply we say prasnavachak in Nepali. In this way, transformation is of three types: affirmative, positive, and interrogative. Affirmative, negative, and interrogative. Likewise, I told there that to use transformations we need totally 24 helping verbs. That I told you on the first day that helping verbs are totally 24. Auxiliary verb, helping verb, or anomalous verb. Simply we say in Nepali Sahayak Kriya. It is of totally 24 types. Is, are, was, were, has, have, had, do, does, did, will, would, shall, should, can, could, may, might, need, dare, must, used to, ought to are totally helping verb. In which now you watch the first rules, how to transform or how to change from affirmative to negative, or from negative to interrogative, or interrogative to negative, or negative to affirmative, or once again affirmative to negative. So according to first rule, if there you watch helping verb in affirmative sentence, at that time if you are asked to change into negative, at that time only extra not you can add in the given helping verb. And if you are asked to change the same sentence into interrogative, then the given helping verb should be kept at first, and rest sentence as it is. Finally, at last, you can give the question mark. For example, you can see one sentence here: she is taking milk. She is taking milk. In this sentence, the helping verb that you can watch is each. That's why if you are going to change this sentence into negative, then according to rule in the given helping verb you can add not only. I mean, she is not taking milk. And if the given sentence you are about to change into affirmative, as I told you that the given helping verb should be kept ahead, rest sentence as it is, and question mark at last. So the right answer for this sentence will be that is she taking milk? This is the interrogative of she is taking milk. In this way, if you see helping verb, if you watch, or if there is, then in the given helping verb, if not in negative and interrogative, same helping verb should be kept ahead and question mark at last. So this is the rule number first. Now rule number two. Sometimes there may not be helping verb. If the helping verb is not found there, then there may be either V1 or V2 or V5. Then you may have the confusion, or you may ask a question to me also here that, sir, where is verb 3? Where is verb 4? Can't we see it? Can't we watch it in the given questions? Yes, of course. V3 also comes. V3 comes, V4 comes, but whenever V4 or V3 comes, then V3 and V4 comes with the helping verb. Without helping verb, V3 and V4 is never seen in a sentence. That's why for V3 or V4 you don't be in confusion. And except this, if there is verb 1 in the given sentence and you are asked to change the given sentence into negative, at that time, if there is V1, then while changing into negative before verb 1, you can add do not. After do not, V1 as it is. Similarly, if you are about to change into interrogative, then the given sentence as it is at first, only you add do and rest as it is and question mark at last. For example, they play volleyball. So they play volleyball. In this sentence, verb 1 is play. That's why while converting into negative before play, you can write do not. They do not play volleyball. And while changing into interrogative, same do you can write at first and rest sentence as it is and question mark at last. The right answer is they play volleyball. For this sentence, negative sentence is they do not play volleyball, and interrogative, do they play volleyball. This is the rule number 2. And now according to rule number 3, there may be B5. If there is B5, then you can use does not in negative and interrogative. Same does should be ahead. But verb 5 means what? Verb 5 means if there may be yes, yes, IES will come. Once again, verb 5 means yes, yes, IES with the verb. That is verb 5, and if such cases comes according to rule number 3, then before verb 5 you should write does not, and after does not, V5 should be changed into V1. Changing V5 into V1 means if there is yes or ES or IES, please you remove that. As you remove it, it gets verb 5. Sorry, it gets V1. And similarly, while changing into interrogative, does at first, after that subject as it is, and instead of verb 5, you can write V1. And this sentence as it is you write and question mark at last. For examples, Gauri speaks English. While changing into negative, speaks, that means verb 5. Why verb 5? Because there is yes in the verb. So, while changing into negative, Gauri before verb 5 does not, and now change the verb 5 into verb 1. Changing verb 5 into verb 1 means if there is yes, remove yes. Or if there is ES, remove ES. If there is IES, remove IES. But in this sentence, there is only yes. That's why I am about to change into verb 1, and for changing into verb 1, I am removing yes. Gauri does not speak English. This is the negative sentence, and while changing into interrogative, same does at first, and after that subject. Gauri, instead of verb 5, there is verb 1, speak English. Does Gauri speak English? Likewise, according to rule 4, if there is V2, then V2 means past tense of the given verb. So if there is a V2 and you are asked or you are about to change or you are going to change into negative at that time, before verb 2, you should write there did not, and V2 should be changed into verb 1. And while changing into interrogative, same did at first and subject as it is. After that, V2 should be converted into verb 1, and rest sentence you can write as it is and question mark, don't miss at last. For example, Rahul told a joke. Rahul told a joke, and you are about to change this sentence into negative. At that time, Rahul is verb 2. That's why we put, told is verb 2. That's why we put V2. Right? Did not. Rahul did not, and now you change verb 2 into verb 1. So told is verb 2. The verb 1 of told is tell. Rahul did not tell a joke. Same sentence, if you are about to change into interrogative, then same did you write at first. Did and subject as it is. Did Rahul, and instead of verb 2, when you convert into verb 1, that will be tell. Did Rahul tell a joke? Question mark at last. In this way, generally, these four are major rules. First, if there is a helping verb in an affirmative sentence and you are asked to change into negative, then add only not with the helping verb, rest as it is. And while changing into interrogative, same helping verb should be kept at first and rest sentence as it is and question mark at last. Or if there is no helping verb, then there may be either verb 1 or verb 5 or verb 2. So if there is a verb 1 and you are asked to change or you are about to change into negative, then before verb 1 write do not and verb 1 as it is, full stop at last. And interrogative, same do should be at first and rest sentence as it is you write and question mark at last. If there is no verb 1, then there will be verb 5. If there is a verb 5 means yes, yes, I, yes with the verb. So, if there is a V5 and you are about to change into negative, then before verb 5, write does not and now convert the verb 5 into verb 1. Changing verb 5 into verb 1 means remove yes, yes, I, yes from the verb. It will automatically be into verb 1. And if you are about to change into negative, same does you keep at first and the subject as it is. Instead of verb 5, write the verb 1 and this sentence as it is and question mark at last. If there is no verb 5, then there will be verb 2. So if there is a verb 2, then before verb 2, while changing into negative, write did not and instead of verb 2, write there verb 1. I will change the given verb 2 into verb 1 and while changing into interrogative, same did keep at first and subject as it is and the given verb 2 should be converted into verb 1 and rest as it is and question mark at last. Except this, as I told you, there may be V3 or V4. But for V3 and verb 4, you don't be in confusion because it always comes with the helping verb. Now some extra rules for transformation. Sometimes there may be always in affirmative sentence. There may be always in affirmative sentence and you are asked to change into negative. At that time, if there is always in affirmative sentence and you are asked to change into negative, at that time, always convert into never and rest sentence don't change at all. And into interrogative, instead of always there will be ever. For example, she always comes late. In the sentence, there is always and you are about to change or convert into negative at the time according to rule. Always should be changed into never. Rest no change. I mean she always comes late. This sentence while converting into negative, she never comes late. Full stop at last. And in the same sentence you are about to change into interrogative. Rest rule of previous one, but instead of always there should be ever. I mean, does she ever come late and question mark at last. Likewise, sometimes there may be some in affirmative sentence. And if there is some in affirmative sentence and you are about to change into negative or interrogative at that time, some should be changed into any in both sentences, negative and interrogative both. For example, Vinod lost something yesterday. Vinod lost something yesterday, and you were asked to change into negative. At that time, as I told you, if there is a sum in affirmative sentence, at that time, that sum should be changed into any while converting into negative. I mean, the right answer for this question is, Vinod lost something yesterday. Vinod lost his verb 2, that's why you should write here did not. And verb 1 of lost is lost. Now, there is something, so some should be changed into any. Vinod did not lose anything yesterday. But there is one more answer for these questions. If there is found sum in affirmative sentence and you were asked to change into negative, at that time sum should be changed into any. It's okay, it's right. But if you change sum directly into no, then rest will not be changed at all in the given sentence and it will be completely into negative. For example, another answer for this question is Vinod lost something yesterday. As I have written here, Vinod did not lose anything yesterday. This is the right answer. But if you change directly sum into no, that will be also correct answer. Vinod lost nothing yesterday. This is also right answer. And while changing into interrogative, rest rule of previous one, only any instead of some. Did Vinod lost anything yesterday and question mark. Likewise, sometimes there may be a lot of or lots of. A lot of or lots of in affirmative sentence. At that times you have to watch lots of or a lot of in affirmative sentence. And after lots of or a lot of, there may be either countable or uncountable noun. So, after lots of or a lot of, there may be countable or uncountable noun. So that's your job to judge if there is countable noun. At that time, lots of or a lot of should be changed into many. If there is after lots of or a lot of countable noun, then lots of or a lot of should be changed into many. But if there is uncountable noun, then it should be changed into much. How? You can see in the given example. The example, the sentence is Sunil keeps lots of animals. This is the sentence. Sunil keeps lots of animals. In this sentence, if you are about to change into negative, at the time, subject as it is, and then now you watch either verb 5 or verb 2 or verb 1 or maybe the helping verb, but the given verb is keeps, that means yes with the verb, so it is very clear that it is the verb 5. That's why before verb 5, write does not, and after that change the V5 into what? Verb 1. Sunil does not keep, and now you see here lots of, and after lots of you watch, is there countable noun or uncountable? So here is animals. Animals means simply we say in Nepali, or in Nepali is an hour. That means it is sure that we can count 1, 2, 3. So countable means that you can count 1 to 3 in unit. That is the countable one. If you can't count in unit, you can count in quantity. That is not, you can say countable. That is uncountable. So animals we can count easily 1, 2, 3 likewise. So it is the countable noun. That's why lots of should be changed into many. But if instead of animals, here maybe rice, maybe water, maybe oil, at that times oil or water or the rice we cannot count in unit. That's why lots of will be converted into much. But here animals, countable noun. That's why lots of should be changed into many. I mean, Sunil does not keep many animals. Except this, there may be sometime little bit strange conditions in affirmative sentence or negative sentence or interrogative sentence, and mostly the students gets in confusion also. That chief reason for that confusion is that you can see here it is exceptional rules. She did not eat nothing. She did not eat nothing, and if you are asked to change into negative or interrogative, then he immediately start getting agitation. He gets lots of confusion. That's how to change into negative, how to change into interrogative, because there is already not. She did not eat anything. Sorry for the mistake. Now you see, she did not eat nothing. So you start getting confusion, hesitation. Sir, how can we change into negative or interrogative, because it is already. Or sometimes you may be asked to change into affirmative. So for that confusion, I am trying my best to remove. She did not eat nothing. So as you know, according to the maths rules, that's if there is a minus into minus, that means plus. It means if there is two negative words in one sentence, in one structure, that means it is affirmative. So first, if you are asked to change into affirmative, then you can write, or you can say as it is also correct answer. Or if you want to write it according to your own way, then remove the both not from this sentence. But if you are asked to change into negative, at that time it is sure that we can change this sentence into negative. But changing into negative means we should remove either first or the second not. One not should be removed from this sentence. I mean, she did not eat anything, or she ate nothing. She did not eat anything, or she ate nothing. Both sentences are right. Likewise, there may be another confusion for you. Sometimes already, recently, certainly such words comes in a sentence and you are asked to change into negative. So as certainly, recently or certainly already comes in a sentence, at that times, yes, surely you will get the helping verb there. And while changing into negative, you add there not. While converting into interrogative, you write that helping verb at first and gives the question mark at last. But there is little bit problem. Either certainly or already or recently, such words should be removed from the given sentence while converting into negative. And instead of those words, you have to write it at last. For example, she has already completed the task. Yes, she has already completed the task. It means if you are about to change the given sentence into negative at that time, yes, already helping verb is in the sentence. But here is one more word that I told you that will create the confusion for you. Already is here in the sentence. So if you are about to change into negative at that time, subject as it is, not with the given helping verb, as I told you already remove from here. Rest sentence as it is, completed the task, and at last, instead of already, you can write at last 8, YET 8, and then give full stop. This will be the final answer for these questions. Likewise, there is one, two more confusing sentences, confusing questions. Sometimes you may get either or. Either or in affirmative sentence and you are asked to change into negative. At that times, either or should be directly changed into neither nor. Rest no change. For example, either he or she comes here and you are asked to change into negative. At that times, either or should be changed into neither nor. Neither he nor she comes here. Sometimes you may get so in affirmative and you were asked to change into negative. So if there is so in affirmative and you are asked to change into negative at the time, instead of so, you should write there neither. Rest no change. For example, you can see the sentence Ram reads English, so does Hari, and you are about to change it to negative, then Ram does not read English, neither does Hari. Finally, about the transformations, this much, but sometimes you may get confusion between helping verb and main verb, not for all, only for has, have, had. Because there is two sentences, she has her meal. One sentence. Second one is she has taken her meal. She has taken her meal. You can judge here. She has her meal, she has taken her meal. So in both sentences you can see has. But in the first sentence, has is not helping verb, is not auxiliary verb because there is no any other action verb. But in second sentence, as you watch, there is after has there is a taken action verb. That's why in any sentence, if you get verb 3 or action verb either with has or with have or with had, then you be clear that has, have, had have been used in the given sentence as an helping verb. But if there is no action verb, no you can say verb 3, then and no verb 3, still there is has or have or had. At that time you can use those have or has or had as an action verb or action verb, and then you think about them that has means V5, had means verb 2, and have means verb 1. That's why if there is a has, use does not. If there is a have, then use do not. If there is a had, then use did not. So from my viewpoints about the transformation, not all, but according to your level, it's enough for you to make your English impressive, even you can say effective, and enrich your speaking power, writing power. So this is the all informations according to the rules about transformation on the second day. I hope you will keep in your mind, understand and enjoy this teaching. Thanks a lot.